Second game of the day in the doubleheader. It's a blast of a Sunday. It's Sydney Sixers versus the Adelaide Strikers. The colors are dark blue versus pink. Sydney Sixers versus Adelaide Strikers. Both teams recovering from a loss. Can they bounce back? We'll have to wait and watch for that. And quickly, let's discuss the probable 11 of both the sides. What players could they field on the day? Because the toss is probably underway, and before that, we should discuss what the teams could be for the day for the Strikers. Jake Weatherald and Philip Salt at the top of the order. They might play the same 11 as the last game because it's going well for them. They did lose the last game, but still, this might be the best 11. Matt Renshaw at 3, Alex Carey at 4, Jonathan Wells, Matthew Short. Matthew Short is probably the weak link in the side. Rashid Khan and Daniel Worrells then finishing the proceedings for them. Danny Briggs, Wes Agar, and Peter Siddle will be in the bowling armory for them. Brilliant bowling lineup. I think they are one of the strongest bowling sides in the tournament. Their batting has lapsed a bit, but their bowling has compensated well for it. Now let's move on to the Sixers. Josh Philippi, Jack Edwards. They also might play the same 11. Josh Philippi, Jack Edwards at the top of the order. James Vince at number 3. He started well in the tournament. He seems to be losing sheen. Josh Philippi still going strong. Jack Edwards, not that consistent. Daniel Hughes, captain at number 4. He's been a revelation this season. The kind of innings he's played, most of the wins he has contributed. So he's a very vital player for them. Jordan Silk contributing in almost every game. 43 of 27 in the last game, but in a losing cause. Daniel Christian, marquee player for them. Their best all-rounder without a doubt. So he'll play an important role in the Sydney Sixers outfit for the whole season. Carlos Brathwaite has been there from the first game, and he has been impressive. He is a good player. He's a power-packed player. He's a powerhouse. So he bowls well. He bowls a couple of overs here and there and also finishes the innings for them. Jackson Bird replaced Jason Holder in the last game. Jason Holder still might not be available, so Jackson Bird will have to provide his services instead of Jason Holder. Ben Dwashus went for a stick in the last game. He'd like to stage a comeback. Ben Manenty and Steve O'Keefe has been the spin duo for them the whole season. Their lineup looks great. Adelaide Strikers look great. The batting of Sydney Sixers looks better, and the bowling of Adelaide Strikers looks a bit better. We have given a higher chance to Sydney Sixers to win this game, 52% towards Sydney, but I don't think there is much of a difference yet. Both teams are going really strong, both recovering from a loss, 52-48 to Sydney Sixers, but I still think they'll be neck and neck, and it'll be crucial. It'll be really, really crucial. The crucial match for both teams. News from the centre. Sydney Sixers have won the toss. They have opted to field first. Last time around, they won the toss. They batted first. This time, they've changed it up, and they will want to bat first this time. Field first. They have gone the different way today. They have elected to field first today. So Adelaide Strikers, that means Jake Weatherald, the left-hander, and Philip Salt, the right-hander, will be stepping out to the middle at around 1:45. That is the stipulated time for the start of the game. And Sydney Sixers will be looking to win this game as well. They were going strong. They are top. They are one of the top contenders to win this tournament. And even Adelaide Strikers, they're not far behind. We'll also get the playing 11s of both the teams very, very soon. So don't go anywhere. I'll shortly announce it. And once we get that, after that, we'll discuss the most important segment, that is the fantasy guide, which players you should pick in order to derive maximum points. And it'll be fantastic, I think, to watch how both teams go. Let's see who can scalp who can come out on top in this game. Adelaide Strikers need a couple of points. Sydney Sixers will be looking for 2 points. It's going to be a good clash. Playing 11s are on their way. X Factor substitutes are on their way. So don't go anywhere. We'll announce it shortly. As soon as we get the message, the news will be coming from SportsTiger first. So keep joining us. Don't go anywhere. We'll also look at the balance of the both sides once more. As I mentioned earlier, the batting of Sydney Sixers looks stronger. Their bowling lacks pace, I think. That's what they lack, because Ben Dwashus is not that pacey. Jackson Bird is a floater. Ben Manenty and Steve O'Keefe are spinners, of course. Carlos Brathwaite doesn't bowl more than 130, 131. Dan Christian is, of course, in the mid-120s. So they lack pace, and I think Adelaide Strikers do have that in the form of Daniel Warren and Wes Agar. Peter Siddle also bowls at a brisk pace. Danny Briggs is a very good spinner. Rashid Khan, of course, he is the superstar, the X factor for them. Rashid Khan, what a player he has been for Adelaide Strikers over the years. He's kept impressing. He has also become the T20 player of the decade. And we can't say enough words about Rashid Khan. He's been absolutely fabulous over the years. Rashid Khan, the enigma, I think single-handedly has won so many matches for whichever team he's played, whether it's Afghanistan, Adelaide Strikers, or Hyderabad in the IPL. He's been so good all around the world. He's also played in the Caribbean Premier League, impressed there as well, whichever league he's played in. He also plays in the Sussex Sharks, in the Vitality Blast in England. So that Rashid Khan, an absolutely fabulous player. Apart from that, some key players you should definitely watch out for. From Adelaide Strikers, it would be Jake Weatherald, Alex Carey, and Peter Siddle. Jake Weatherald, Alex Carey, of course, two left-handers. Alex Carey has been in great form. Peter Siddle has been in fabulous form with ball. Jake Weatherald, today we're expecting that he will go the long way. For Adelaide, for Sydney Sixers, it would be Josh Philippi, Daniel Hughes, and Daniel Christian. So two Daniels, the captain Daniel Hughes, and Daniel Christian, the all-rounder, and Josh Philippi. These will be our top picks for the day. We are expecting that they will perform well today for the Sydney Sixers and Adelaide Strikers. Now we have the best tweets before the game. Sports Enthusiastic at SportsEnthusi13 says he's also tagged SportsTiger app, and he has used the hashtag AskSportsTiger. You can also use these hashtags to get your tweets featured in our pre-shows. So that's a very good opportunity for you to ask questions related to cricket to our experts. Both the teams lost their previous respective matches, but I am backing Strikers simply because they have the magician Rashid Khan. Do you agree? I agree. Rashid Khan is the X factor, match winner, can win matches single-handedly. So he'll be a huge player for them. Rashid Khan, of course, if he's in your side, you don't have to fear anything because he'll come in, he'll pick wickets for you with bat in hand, he'll get some runs for you. In the field is absolutely electric. So Rashid Khan, an all-round complete T20 cricketer. Second tweet is by Sumita Verma. The defending champions tasted defeat in their last game and they will be roaring to get back. Strikers beware. Yes, Sydney Sixers are the defending champions. They won the last season of the Big Bash League. That is the 9th season. They did endure a loss in the last game and they'll be roaring to bounce back. They'll be rearing to bounce back. Again, Sumita Verma has tagged SportsTiger app and she's also used the hashtag AskSportsTiger. You can also do that for your tweets to get featured in our pre-shows. You can ask me any questions you like. I will be more than happy to answer them. And apart from that, as we go back to our top picks of the day, we were left hanging. Josh Philippi, Daniel Hughes, and Daniel Christian will be the top picks for the Sydney Sixers. Josh Philippi, of course, in great form, 48 of 37 in the last game. Daniel Hughes has been in pure form for so many games now, just a couple of blemishes in between. And Daniel Christian is so experienced, such an experienced campaigner by now, that you expect him to perform in every game. So those are the top picks for Sydney Sixers. For Strikers, it will be Peter Siddle. Peter Siddle, with his new haircut, has been in absolutely fabulous form. It's like he's got a new outlook to life, and he's absolutely steaming in. He's in there with a fresh mind. And Alex Carey, of course, Alex Carey, the captain and the wicketkeeper, he's been playing so well in the middle order for them. Almost every game, he's been scoring runs. He's been taking the lead. He's been leading by example, and that is Alex Carey for you. Jake Weatherald will be another key player for them at the top of the order. Jake Weatherald has been starting the innings well, but he's not been able to convert them to big innings. He needs to play that one match-winning innings that gets his campaign on a roll, that kickstarts his campaign really well. That one innings gives you the confidence to go the long way. Philip Salt has not got that. He got 115 in the middle, but apart from that, they've not been able to provide the best of starts to Adelaide Strikers. That's why their batting has not been the best, because if there's not a good foundation, you can't, of course, expect the building to be solid. So that's why Philip Salt and Jake Weatherald will be playing a huge role for the Sydney Sixers. They'll be batting second. Josh Philippi and Jack Edwards have started well. Probably both of them need to be more consistent as well. Josh Philippi has been performing, but performing in bouts. Jack Edwards has impressed. He has a lot of potential, but he has also not been able to display the kind of potential he has. So a lot of players that we are banking on. James Vince, such a big player. He's not lived up to his full potential as well. In the first match, he got a 70. After that, we've not seen his substantial innings from him. Daniel Hughes, 96 of 50. That innings was the career-defining innings for him. I think the way he played, the way he swung his bat, the way it was flowing from his bat, that ping of the bat, it was absolutely lovely to watch, and that's why Daniel Hughes will be a big player for them as well. Apart from that, some players we need to watch out for as well. Carlos Brathwaite, what is his role in the team? Carlos Brathwaite, we've seen that he only comes down the order, rarely gets a bat, and also does not bowl much. Maybe a 1 or 2 overs at max. What is his role in the team? I think he's that kind of player that comes into play whenever required. He's not a regular 4 over bowler. He's not a regular batsman for you. He's half and half, but he does a good job with bat and ball, and that's why he's in there. He also is a very good fielder. But I think they have an opportunity whenever Jason Holder is fit enough to be in the side. They should directly replace Carlos Brathwaite with Jason Holder, because I think Jason Holder's abilities are unmatched at the moment, and the way he's been playing his cricket for so long, he's in form. He's been going well for the past years. I think the moment he became captain of the West Indian side, from there on, he's been in great form. He's been leading the side well. In the IPL as well, he came in for Hyderabad and he bowled well. He swung the ball, he took wickets, he scored some runs with bat in hand. He's also a complete all-round cricketer, and not just in T20 cricket, in all three formats. And it's been brilliant to watch the way Jason Holder has conducted himself in the last year or so. He's been leading West Indies really well. We'll soon get the playing 11 of both the sides, so don't go anywhere. Uh, Probable 11 we've already discussed. We'll now go to the fantasy guide for the day. The fantasy team. What should the fantasy team be? We hope there are no changes. Otherwise, we'll have to make changes to our fantasy 11. Let's go ahead and discuss the fantasy guide for the match 26. Sydney Sixers versus Adelaide Strikers. The wicket keepers for us will be Josh Philippi and Alex Carey. Both of them have been in great form. Alex Carey, 81 for him in the last match, but in a losing cause. So he'll be rearing to go. He'll be looking to carry on from where he left off. Daniel Hughes and Jake Weatherald are the batters we've picked. Daniel Hughes has been in fabulous form since the last 5-6 games or so. Jake Weatherald has been providing a good start. You can either pick Philip Salt or Jake Weatherald. I think they're equivalent picks, and there's not much of a difference between them. We've gone ahead with Jake Weatherald because he was also in our top picks today. We are expecting him to perform. Daniel Christian, Carlos Brathwaite, and Matt Renshaw will be the three all-rounders that we have picked today. Dan Christian, Carlos Brathwaite, and Matt Renshaw. Dan Christian has been doing a fabulous job for Sydney Sixers this season. Whichever team he plays for, he's a big asset. Carlos Brathwaite is another player that you should watch out for. And Matt Renshaw, another big player for Adelaide Strikers. Ben Dwarshuis is the first bowler we've picked. Rashid Khan, Peter Siddle, and Wes Agar are the three bowlers we've picked from Adelaide Strikers. Whenever Adelaide Strikers play, we always pick a good variety of bowlers because they have very strong bowling attack. Ben Dwarshuis, you can count him as an all-rounder as well. He bats very well. He's very handy with bat in hand. Rashid Khan you can count as an all-rounder. Peter Siddle and Wes Agar. Daniel Worrell has not been performing well for the last couple of games, so we have left him out today. The captain for this side would be Rashid Khan, because we expect him to perform with bat and with ball in hand, so he'll get double the points. Vice captain of our side will definitely be Alex Carey. The kind of form he's in, he's been displaying some great batting in the last few games, so we have of course picked him. And that is the fantasy team. Of course, Karthik Singh is asking why everyone is choosing to field after winning the flip. Last time around, actually, Karthik Singh, Sydney Sixers won the toss and they elected to bat first. But yeah, that has been the trend. They are winning the toss and choosing to field. It is because of the trend of T20 cricket. Teams like to chase. Teams like to see. Teams like to have teams like to have a total on board to chase, and that is why teams are choosing to field first. We saw that in the IPL as well. We are seeing that in the BBL. It has been the trend in T20 cricket, and I think they should deviate from this trend. It's not the correct option to choose fielding every time. We should also bat first, but according to the conditions, and conditions might be favoring the bowlers today, so they have elected to bowl first. We have the playing 11 of both sides. Josh Philippi, Jack Edwards at the top of the order for Sydney Sixers. Daniel Hughes, James Vince, Jordan Silk, Daniel Christian, Carlos Brathwaite, Ben Dwashers, Ben Manenti, Jake Ball, and Lloyd Pope. So we have two changes. Jake Ball instead of Jackson Bird. And another change we have is Steve O'Keefe is not there, and they've picked the leg spinner Lloyd Pope. So a couple of changes: Lloyd Pope instead of Stephen O'Keefe, and Jake Ball in place of Jackson Bird. If we talk about the Adelaide Strikers, it's Jake Weatherall, Philip Salt, Matt Renshaw, and Alex Carey. Jonathan Wells, Ryan Gibson is in the team today. He was the X Factor substitute last time around. Rashid Khan, Daniel Worrell, Danny Briggs, Wes Agar, and Peter Siddle. Only one change, that is Ryan Gibson in for Matthew Short. That is the playing 11 of the Adelaide Strikers. For the Sydney Sixers, it's Josh Philippi, Jack Edwards, James Vince, Daniel Hughes, Jordan Silk, Daniel Christian, Carlos Brathwaite, Ben Dwashers, Ben Manenti, Jake Ball, and Lloyd Pope. Jake Ball in place of Jackson Bird, and Stephen O'Keefe has been replaced by Lloyd Pope in the side. For the Adelaide Strikers, it's Jake Weatherall, Philip Salt, Matt Renshaw, Alex Carey, Jonathan Wells, Ryan Gibson, Rashid Khan, Danny Briggs, Wes Agar, and Peter. So that's the playing 11. We'll also tell you the X Factor substitutes soon. 3 changes today we saw in total. So for the fantasy guide, you don't need to make any changes. I'll also repeat the fantasy guide for you. Josh Philippi and Alex Carey at the top as wicket keepers. Daniel Hughes, Jake Weatherall are the 2 batters. Dan Christian, Carlos Brathwaite, and Matt Renshaw will be the all-rounders. Ben Dwashers, Rashid Khan, Peter Siddle, Wes Agar are the bowlers. So no changes in the fantasy side, with Rashid Khan as captain and Alex Carey as vice captain. So those are the players that we have picked in the fantasy guide. We've also discussed the playing 11, the best tweets before the game. I'll see you again after the first match ends to analyze what all happened. Till then, keep watching SportsTiger. Don't go anywhere.